Nice. Let's get casting, dude. I'm good. Let's get casting, bro. Did I talk last time about the Pornhub playthroughs of Minecraft?
Possibly, yeah, I think so. You could talk to John. Whatever. It does stink though, because it is like you don't know until 2 months from now when.
I'm not gonna bring it up.
No, but there's things too.
About it.
No, but there's stuff like that where it's like, bro, I talk about my athlete's foot in like every episode.
We've never talked about it.
I know that's the confusing
so
thing that I run a second podcast subsequent simultaneous to this one.
Do we sound good? Sound tasty?
You know, I've been thinking maybe I should wear the headphones just so that I hear my own breathing.
Oh,
but sometimes it is the other guy breathing. It's usually me breathing, but it is.
I'm sure it's me a lot.
It's not you. You're good.
I keep the mic pretty far from my face, so. Because I'm a projector.
I do need to start telling us, like, and I'm guilty of it too. You don't hold it like a
stand-up mic.
Yeah, because it's a different. There's no other sound. It's like, it's just the only sound. So you can hold it further away.
Yeah.
And then if you do hold it at the length, like sometimes you need to win over 30 sounds. You need to beat a bunch of sounds. So you hold it this close.
Yeah.
And you do hear the warmth, and you hear the warmth better now. Like you hear it warmer. But you hear every slight breath I make, and it is just so hard not to. So I do need to keep it.
You don't really hear the breath.
But you do that right. The way you hold it, I like it too. Is you have enough voice that you hold it down here, and I like the guys who hold it down here. It seems a little casual thing, but this is where we should be.
I hold it like this.
This is almost, and this is partly where I do want to go to the.
Because it is awkward. Almost, it's awkwardly low.
Yeah, I want to go to the arms.
So. Because you can't do this.
After this one, we'll go to the arms. But it is like everything picks up. It's good. It's just breathing sometimes. And it's a thing, too. It's like, all right, I'll put it out there. And we've put it out there enough. You know, we're drinking coffee. We're taking smoke breaks. Our heart rate is accelerating at times. There'll just be random times where 10 minutes in, you're just like, just out of breath. It'll be me. And it'll be like 30 minutes in, and I know I'm just thinking of like anxious thoughts, but I don't know.
I'm sure I do it too, dude. Don't worry.
Oh my god! So
I won't be offended if you wear the headphones. Dude,
no, I prefer not to wear the headphones. Okay. It's way better not to wear the headphones, but that's what we need. But I don't know. You know, what am I even gonna like the headphones? All I know is, I'm not gonna stop and be like, hey, you're breathing too heavily. I'm only gonna be conscious of my breathing. I can give us both headphones.
That might be nice.
We can do both headphones.
Ooh.
I
have headphones.
I have headphones too.
Ooh. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Right now or at some point?
We can do it either right now or the next episode.
Next episode.
Okay, we'll go into the next episode. I will have to get up and show my pajamas.
I think we literally haven't. Have we started? Is this the beginning?
This is technically. We've been started for like 3 minutes before I sat down.
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah, I've been getting better about doing the sneaky starts, sneaky records.
Nice.
And I bought this sign.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, so what's fucking me up about this sign is that I had to cut all these PVC letters out. PVC, it's like PVC piping is what makes the letter.
Oh, no, isn't that what was in the...
That was what made the fucking explosion. My demand for this sign led for chemical companies to transport chemicals to make these letters. So but I had to snip them all out. That's why they're kind of uneven.
Oh, they look great.
It's a huge pain in the ass. It was super. Yeah, thank you. It was.
I'm psyched by it. I didn't say anything because I was like.
The other sign, we're just figuring things out, testing it. We got the other sign back up on the wall.
Stuff out, dude.
Yeah. Eventually, we're gonna switch out the black screen and go somewhere. Do something.
Green screen? And just like.
When we hire a guy, we'll do green screen. Once we hire a guy, we're doing green screen.
Just do. What is it? Ancient Aliens? Just
do
Action Bronson.
I would do that for sure. I watch podcasts, and one guy did like a fucking blizzard, and I was just like, damn, bro. I would love to just have blizzard.
Just like while he's talking?
Well, you know what I would really want to do? And I would actually, this would be super easily accomplishable. We would have to just take a sec. We got to find like some, that's what some of these other guys are doing, is they're putting ads up on Craigslist and in colleges, like shitty, not good, not Columbia. You apply, you get in 2 seconds later. It's automatic admissions. But even that's a good film school. Yeah. But there's like community colleges that have film programs.
We should do that.
And you're
100%.
like, you're not making it, bro.
Yeah, we should do that.
And then we just get a kid and just like say,
just get some fucking
come into my bedroom.
kid. Yeah.
Come into my bedroom and
just get some fucking
yeah.
taut young 21-year-old
That's
kid,
what Aaron
dude.
Chase does. Is he has this like college kid, and I'm like, I bet this college kid. Like when I was in college, I worked for a guy would average it out to less than minimum wage. So
yeah, we could totally
if we pay
find
a kid by a
to do
project and be like, we'll pay you.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
Yeah,
Or just we'll pay you a third of what this podcast is worth. Or whatever.
No, bro. I mean,
you know what I mean? And then just, it's not worth anything. So
yeah, but that expires when it becomes. I think we're gonna be worth at least $20. If we start a Patreon, my mom and dad will join. Your mom and dad will join. Make them get separate accounts. That's 4 accounts right there.
I hope my mom and dad don't join.
Yeah, I hope so. My aunt, I know my aunt's gonna listen to she's gonna listen to everything I put out, and going back, there's so much stuff. I'm like, I can't. You just have to. I
so
love you,
excited
Aunt Liza,
to talk shit about your aunt for like.
No, but
to that be a running gag of this podcast is just your fucking dumb aunt.
No, she's just gonna check in and be like, Donovan, you were a misogynist 37 times. I kept a spreadsheet of every microaggression you made. Now you're coming ableist.
Yeah,
no, she's not. But she's super supportive, and the thing is that like certain people have, and I'm included. Mm-hmm. I think you are too. You just have so many hours you got to kill during the workday that you're like, fuck, I'll listen to. Fuck it, my nephew's putting out a podcast,
dude.
A lot of our family listens. Like people listen to this shit, and it's like, fuck it, my nephew's.
I listen to podcasts all day, dude. Yeah, that's all I've been doing recently.
Recently too, I've been going and I've been trying to like find the most obscure. Like I'll go Kansas City podcasts, and I just try to see all the best Kansas City comedy podcasts, just to see if like where I would compete amongst comedians in Kansas City.
That's such a hilarious. Yeah, I mean we're gonna
crush them.
That is definitely a technique, dude.
We're gonna crush them. Bro, there is some podcasts that I see and I'm like, damn, these are good. There's these Asian dudes. I don't know any of their names.
You shouldn't have brought it up.
They're like, yeah, but that's their whole thing is they're cool Korean guys. They're like these cool Koreans in Southern California. And I'm like, these dudes are cool. So I'm trying to do on that podcast. Oh, I have been thinking about my celebrity guest list because I've been going back and talking about the name drops. Because you know who number 1 is, right?
What? Who?
Joe Burrow. That's the number 1 celebrity guest for this podcast. Yeah. Joe
Burrow's our number 1.
Leonard Fournette is number 2.
Dude, if we get Joey B's or Leonard
Fournette, I think I get so Leonard Fournette's number 3. Number 2 is Billy Corgan.
We can do that. We can do that.
Billy Corgan, I would love to get him in the bedroom.
No offense, Leonard. No offense, Leonard, dude. You're the best.
Yeah,
but
Leonard's 3. There's a couple. There's some other shit. You know who I love? Who actually, I don't know, but you know Bill Curtis is. Mm-mm. He's the voice in Anchorman, the narrator in Anchorman, who's like, oh man, I forgot.
Is he like a Chicago staple though?
Yeah, he's a Chicago staple. He was a national news anchor for a bunch of years, but he started in Chicago and came back to Chicago. But he's a narrator in a million things. It's like, what's the I forget some of those classic narrator lines in Anchorman, bro. Because the narrator whole redemption was spelled Ron Burgundy that day.
So he's like a dude.
And his voice is super distinguished, and he's like he's up there in age. But he narrates some cool stuff. He did recently like so the Bears are leaving Soldier Fields, and
so they are officially.
It's not 100%, but it's at the 95%.
But it's like they're Where are they going to move out to? Some fucking suburb?
The suburbs, 15 miles away.
And no wonder our fucking city's falling apart, dude.
I know, it's crazy.
They're going to take the Bears to the suburbs?
It'll be one of the furthest NFL teams from their downtown.
That's like genuinely the wackest thing.
We'll go from being one of the closest to one of the furthest.
That's like genuinely one of the wackest things
100%. Ever. I'm not going to be... I'm more of a Ravens fan if they go through with it.
I won't be a Bears fan
I'll switch allegiance. I have very little Bears allegiance.
Me too.
I have Bulls. I
like Fields.
I love Fields. Unfairly, I have bias towards him, but I have little allegiance. And
yeah, me too.
I want to be. If we're friends with Joe Burrow, I'm a Bengals fan.
Yeah,
I mean that's settled.
Joe Burrow, if you want to win 2 more fans for your team, all you gotta do is come to the room, come to the bedroom, dude.
Yeah, bro. Oh man. We'll go get some chili out in Cincinnati. I think they got some famous chili spots.
I'd be down for some chili. Remember that fucking shithole in Texas? Whatever. Sorry. Let's finish this. We went to that fucking chili place in Austin, and they were just fucking rude as hell.
I know, bro. Texas chili parlor. Fuck it.
Yeah,
I hate him.
Fucking whack. All right, sorry, but celebrity guests. That's what we're talking about. I don't want to get into shitting on this chili place.
We're gonna have a whole episode dedicated to chili parlor.
For sure, exactly. We don't need to get into it now.
But the Texas. I will say this: don't go to if you're in Austin. I tell people don't go to the Texas chili parlor.
Really?
I say you're only more likely to go now that I've even brought it up. You would have never even heard of it, but don't go there. Because that fucking place sucked. That was the worst service we ever got. It's in the famous song.
It was like decent chili.
Yeah, it's like we came in to a bar inebriated. Chill the fuck out. We came into a bar that turned out to be more of a restaurant. Inebriated, but I look back.
He was
great.
Yelling. Our guest for the evening.
Well, here's
our guest
I'll
for
counter
the evening was.
Yeah, he was yelling, and then a second thing, we all had cameras and we were all out filming.
Yeah, our celebrity guest was being a problem.
I like it though. I like.
But
how
he was
abrasive.
immediately rude to us. That's what.
Oh
bugged
yeah.
If they had been rude to us throughout the night, I would have been like, I understand.
Yeah. And then they were like, "Fuck Lone Star. We don't serve Lone Star." Like it was something we all should have known. And at first, I thought maybe it's like a Texas thing where like real Texans like think Lone Star sold out or something.
Yeah, but everyone
everyone else around Texas loves Lone Star. That bar has some specific beef, and it's like we don't fucking know.
I asked them later. Well, the other thing that made me annoyed is it's like I just don't like that they're trying to act all cool and like underground, where it's like you can't have the attitude of a dive bar. Yeah. And then when we walk in hammered, be mad at us. Yeah. You're first of all, you're on fucking what's that called, State Street or like the main street. You're not a dive bar.
No, and that was
you have overpriced chili, like
Well, and you look it up, and it's like what it was. It's just the Republican state Congress people who partied hard would go drink there. So it just poses as this country like Texas outlaw bar.
Yeah, but it's not.
And it's like we're Texas outlaws. I mean, there's a song about it.
Yeah,
which is
are
why
Texas
I wanted. No, I know exactly.
Me, you, and our special guest.
Yeah, and only 1/3. Only you are from Texas, but I'm more of a Texas outlaw.
We were Texas outlaws. Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
We came in there just dropping
us
phones.
And the busboy. Us and the busboy are the only Texas outlaws in the bar.
We were Texas outlaws, dude. We were all yelling at each other, just fucking getting hammered.
Yeah, and
they wanted
good stories. Eating chili, eat.
You know what? You could go to that bar. It's fine.
But there's better spots.
Yeah, there's better spots.
I recommend.
I would go almost
everywhere else we went. I would go everywhere. That random Mexican hole in the wall strip mall joint we went to with Carl, like the last meal when that was like a fucking banging. That was some banging Tex-Mex.
Remember that random? We were just in front of that. Whatever. We'll get into all of this. I want to.
That's why we got. That is why we have to start the stories soon.
So we can get through them all.
Yeah. Speaking of, go grab that package really quick.
Oh, dude!
Don't open it, but put it on the table.
What is it?
Yeah, you'll see. It's a gift.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a gift for the podcast. It's a gift for the table.
A gift for the table. What is it?
Are you excited?
Yeah, dude. I'm super excited. I literally wrote down a note. I was like, we should get a vase or vase.
Of flowers for the table.
We should get something.
You should get a vase or place for it. Well, this is that vase. Start. This is the start of that vase. Yeah, open it up.
Oh, dude.
It's a gift for. I was gonna get scissors, so you're gonna have to.
No, dude. I'll just open.
Yeah, you just bear it.
Respectful boy.
No, we'll open it. No, open the package like a beast. But there's gonna be something. I think at some point, like every package.
Oh, hey, man.
Hell yeah! High five. Oh yeah,
dude, way better than a vase.
Oh yeah, let's open it up.
Is this like? This is almost the exact truck, dude.
Exactly. So I was gonna have you call out the different same paint. I think it's the same paint job, same
Close
GMC
enough.
blue.
I think it's a little lighter, but part of that might have just been the truck was so old.
Yeah, that's it. But I think it's like the standard GMC blue, and then it's
Well, we had a Dodge.
This was okay.
Mine was a Dodge.
Yeah.
That's one thing. A Ram. Mine was a Ram. This is a GMC. But it looks like the exact same.
Dude, I was in that car for fucking 2 years, and we're getting a new truck. Open this one up because I want to play with it, but
dude, what? No, it's fine, dude.
And I knew it was a 15. I knew yours was one size bigger.
Yeah, Yeah, mine is one size bigger.
And it had an extended cap. So I know those were the two differences. And then the years are different. This is 2019. Yours was what year was yours?
Like a 2000.
Yours was sick as...
It would probably be almost impossible. We have to unscrew this, dude. We need a screwdriver. We need a screwdriver to get that off the platform.
All right, well, maybe we'll keep it on the platform.
If you want to play with it.
Let a kid fucking play with a car these days, bro.
Dude,
it's all
whack,
collectors.
Dude. The world's whack as hell. Kids can't even have fun no more, dude. We were just talking about the lighters.
Maybe it is good to
just...
just...
You can't even get lighters as a kid?
Oh, my God. We got carded for lighters, and we still don't know if it was 18 or 21. I guess this is for the stand. We'll keep it... I don't like the stand like this, though. We'll get rid of it.
Dude.
Give us a sec.
Yeah, so we were at Target buying a lighter, and we get carded, and we're like, wait, so kids can't even start fires anymore? What are kids allowed to do? Dude?
And my whole point is I was living alone at 18, and it's like, bro, if the pilot light went out, I just have to be like, I'm sorry. My pilot light's out. I can't do anything.
Yeah, I'm just going to die.
Damn, bro. I did think, for some reason, I thought you had a GM. I mean, obviously, I knew you had a Dodge.
Dude, it would be probably really hard to find my truck.
Because, yeah, well, first, it's not Dodge, it is Ram. They're all Rams now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had it when it was a Dodge Ram.
No,
it was a Dodge Ram. Now they're just Rams.
Yeah.
Because Rams are more important than Dodges.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think. But I love a Dodge
and mine
Charger.
was diesel.
Yeah, no, I know this.
Yeah,
but we all know secretly this
is dude. Because guess what? Camera, can you see the GMC? Nope. So guess what?
Yeah.
This is a Ram.
Exactly. Ram. And I don't like this fucking second door. More cab space. It is. I see people.
I wish you had just. Dude, this was very nice.
Thank you.
This is way better than a vase of flowers. I'm so fucking stupid.
I looked around for a little comedian man to put on.
Oh, that would have been funny, like a Lego man.
That would be ideal. They have something. The best thing, and it'll probably end up being. We'll get it. You know the Lil Homies? Did you ever put those? They were like the quarter machines, and you'd put them in the quarter.
They were called Lil Homies?
Yeah, and they'd be like super character. I actually had a bunch. They'd be like super caricatures of like Cholo, Southern California, LA, Latino gang culture. I mean, like to the extreme. They're awesome though, like, and they're little figurines you put in like.
Offensive by today's standards.
But it was a thing like, I bet 90% of their customer base was like Latino American kids who just love, like
just thought it was cool.
Like it was huge in my neighborhood.
Homies.
My neighborhood was exactly they're little homies.
That's dope.
And they were huge in my mostly Puerto Rican neighborhood.
I'll say
every
this much.
Like gumball machine that had like 6 things would sell it.
I'll say this much: you might be right because I didn't have little homies, and I grew up in a very white area.
But then
so
down in the valley,
yeah, down in the slums.
At the valley, they had
little homies.
They had the little homies. They were around randomly, and they were fun as hell. There was like one was like I know there was like a rip-off Snoop Dogg one. Like it was like I think it might have just been like a knockoff of Snoop Dogg. One was like I had a pit bull. They were super cool. But one is like it's like an urban MC comedian, and it would be kind of the perfect size. So that would be dope. I do worry if it'd be a little too small. But now that I see the truck, it would kind of work fit. And those are like those were 50 cents back in the day. You buy them on eBay like $25 a pop. But I would buy the comedian one just to have that because it's worth it.
Dope.
The other thing they had was
homie, dude.
These are like custom made, and there's no way. If we had like sick Patreon money, I would drop this. But there's a little figurine of you like pay to order, and they're like $200 a pop. But it is like the ideal like action figure Lenny Bruce. They have a few others, Lenny Bruce. But then they have like the guy who took the pictures made a fake little cigarette and then lit it because it's got smoke in all the pictures. I'm like, that's weird. I'm not doing that. Like, and it doesn't come with that, you know.
Yeah.
But you put. Yeah, little Lenny Bruce there would be kind of fun.
Lenny Bruce.
So
who is Lenny Bruce?
He was a comedian who, if you listen to him now, you'd say, "God, this is not funny at all. None of this is even remotely funny. How did this? How was this?
So well.
This is really stupid." But I do think like people in the 50s. Like, I mean, if we went back in time to the 50s and just started doing like our material,
it would blow people's dicks off.
We would for sure be arrested.
Yeah, for sure.
We would sure be felons.
I talk about that all the time. People like somebody was.
That's
was
his big thing.
Boy.
He got arrested a bunch. He's the guy who got arrested a bunch, so that people got arrested less.
Cool.
And that's his.
That's his thing. He died for our sins.
He died for our. He like 100% died for our sins because like none of his jokes.
He's the Jesus of comedy.
I mean, nothing of it was as offensive as what you just said. He never went as offensive as saying he was the Jesus of comedy, and he got arrested
all the time
and died for it.
For being like, I took off her knickers, and they were like, "Oh, get him!"
I think he would be like, "This bitch,
okay.
This bitch." Then it's like, "Whoa,
what the fuck, dude?" Yeah,
you can hit him. You can't call him that.
you can assault them physically, just not verbally. Dude.
Yeah, sticks and stones, my dudes. Keep it to the sticks and stones only. Break bones. Words hurt you. Words hurt.
Bones, dude. No words. Words will get you locked up. I do kind of. I was talking to my coffee boy about that the other day. Devin, Bay Coffee.
Cheated on him today.
I cheated on him today. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
And you know what? It showed. Because we had worse coffee.
So much worse.
Cheap,
dude.
You cheap whore.
Yeah, cheap, dude. Ours was easy. His is so good, dude. Bay Coffee.
You're sweet, but I know you're bad for me.
I know. I asked for 1 cream and sugar, and it was like
they all do it.
Yeah,
well, they have one setting.
Yeah,
and the setting is
just all of it.
Fill it to here.
Yeah. So, anyways, I was talking to him about that like cancel culture kind of nonsense a little bit because I was just like, yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's kind of always been the thing. You know, I think the difference is now is people like outside of comedy are getting canceled for just like.
Yeah, we don't get arrested.
Yeah, we don't get arrested.
We could go to other countries and still get arrested for this.
Yeah, put to death.
What we do with the pickup is so great. People were talking about how crime, like it's like the crime has gotten out of control in the past 2 years in Chicago, and then I'm like, are we criminals?
Yeah, we were criminals.
Because if we're criminals, then
we
good thing Chicago got out of hand because we were being criminals. But what we would do for sure,
dude, these doors open.
That's why they had the tape. Yeah, that's there's. Do they have your little cigarette burns on the seat? No. But
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, like this comic who just moved here from China, Kurt Dunsing. He'd been living out there for 10 years. He was like, you have to submit your material to the Communist Party. And it's like, and don't be stupid enough to submit like
anti.
Yeah, and my whole act is just Shane Gillis in it. No, but it is kind of crazy that to have people like look at your like I mean just your podcast.
Yeah,
you know, just be like, I don't even know if you could have a podcast over there.
I don't think I'd be allowed. I don't think
we've talked about China is like not on our go-to list because it's
I would love to go to China. I think it's
me too. I would love
full of beautiful women.
I know, right? Wouldn't that be so sweet? I would love to go to Shanghai.
Give them
there's like
kisses, dude.
Oh my gosh! I mean, it's the size of America, so it's like there's so much to see there, and there's like they have like this mouse sculpture that's like crazier than Mount Rushmore, and it's like they have an answer for everything we have.
Yeah,
like they have their Mount Rushmore, and it's like it is insane, and it looks nothing. He's hot. It's like a hot young guy. It looks nothing like Mao. It would just be like if I became a dictator and I was like, all right, for my statue, let's get a young Leo up. Just paint me as a young Leo always.
That is a
and they're
great
like,
move.
you know, there's
That's
photos
what
of you.
dictators should all do.
You know, there's photos of you that show you don't look
like
that
any dictator statues are ever accurate. That is an insane move.
I know.
It's
like,
crazy that they don't all do that move.
He has like long hair blowing in the wind.
Yeah, that's
and it's
exactly
like,
what
it's a Mount Rushmore. And he literally has like long hair.
That's exactly what I would do. Yeah, it's crazy that they let them use the photos they did for Mount Rushmore. Like they should have been like, no, use them all when they were fucking sweet young 20-year-olds.
Yeah, well, that's called America playing fair.
Yeah,
in our world,
stupid, dude.
It is weird that why can't they all just be hot young guys?
Yeah, if I was that is funny that it's like Saddam Hussein's statue was not just like him as like a sexy young man.
There was this girl I dated briefly in college or so. Her roommate was a painter, and he painted like
Saddam Hussein. Is that how you say it? Hussein?
So damn insane. More like it.
All right, sorry, finish.
Oh, you said
Girl.
Saddam Hussein. Yeah, but I dated this girl and her roommate had this painting that was like the size of this whole wall, like 10 feet by 4 feet or some shit. And it was him as
Saddam?
No, it was the guy who painted it. It was a self-portrait of him as a fucking
So the girl you're dating's roommate.
Yeah, and it was him as a cowboy, and it was just so badass because it looked so. It was just.
Was it like a good painting?
It was so good.
Is it a really good painting?
He was a really talented painter, and it was just like I want something like.
Did he do it as a joke, or was he like, "This is
both
me being dumb"?
I mean, like if I was that good at painting, I'd paint me as a cowboy too. And it was just so like him as the most badass version.
Dude,
of him
that's
possible.
what we should do. We should do the thing we talked about this the other day, where you can just like pay some Chinese dude.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Make,
that Jordan.
Yeah, that Jordan.
Yeah.
We should do that for both of us getting self portraits. We should both get like military style, like Napoleon style portraits.
I would love it, and then hang those.
Yeah,
once I get my house next to Midway Airport,
we can make that part of our. Are you moving to Are you moving or something? Buying a house?
I've been talking about it for 6 years. I have to stop talking about it. It's just the thing is, it's the only thing my dad will ever. I'm like, Dad, I love you. He's like, buy a house, buy land.
I'll go down a house with you.
Buy some land. And
we can split some land.
Do you want to buy a house in a college town?
Yeah, dude.
That's where I think the money's at. Is like buying in a like.
I completely agree. Like a state college.
Yeah, and
like
buying like a house like within 2
soon.
blocks of the campus.
Yeah. Buying one in middle of. I'd want to buy somewhere in Middle America too. So I'm thinking somewhere like Colorado, low property tax, low.
It's super expensive out there, though, right?
It is. The cost of living is really high.
Let's go to Kansas and party. You Kansas boys. What would be the ultimate? Okay, so it can't be Colorado, can't be Illinois because we got to take that bias out.
I wouldn't live where I'm buying property because I'm a boss.
Well, I don't want to. This is why I want to do. This is going to be boring, but this is the other part of my life. Okay, look at me.
Yeah.
This boy has finances. Okay,
he's not all goofs and gas.
He has finances. There's a stereotypes for a reason. Okay, I have a day job that pays me well, and I'm trying to buy property. Yeah. Anyway, Urbana-Champaign, U of I.
That's a great choice. It's also blowing up. It's right in the triangle of Raleigh, right?
Oh, so that all right. No, University of Illinois. But I would also do.
Oh, geez, sorry. I was thinking. There's a
place Raleigh-Durham was crazy.
That triangle where my old roommate lived, that would be a great spot too because it's right in the triangle of like 3 major expanding cities.
You know, Wake Forest is also like only 20 miles from there, maybe a little further.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. That's what he was telling us about. 5
huge universities are right there. It's UNC.
But there's 3 huge cities.
Yeah.
Well, not huge, but 3 growing cities that are all pretty big.
Yeah.
In a triangle, and one's like a tech hub, and 2 are with like 2 college towns, and then there's a whole, like you said, a whole nother college.
He should. Did he move out of that dorm?
I think so.
I hope so.
Hey
Peyton, I hope you moved out of that dorm. Yeah, great guy.
Dude, you're doing
great
good
guy.
for that.
Hopefully you're listening.
All we do is send each other memes.
Yeah,
like the only conversation I've had with him since that time has been just, ha.
It is funny. Like, do you ever
just memes,
people send me memes and then I'll just send them other memes other people? I just trade memes.
Me too.
I'm just
That's
like
what
a
memes
conduit.
are for, dude.
I'm a conduit of between memes. But some people,
Quiz,
I love you.
Quiz
sends me the worst memes. Love it, but I'm like, this is a 21-year-old sending me memes. And some of them are funny. Like 1 in 5 is great, and I love them all. Send me all of them. I'll thank them. But then I'll have to like get other memes to send to him, and then vice versa. And
it's too much work. I don't send him memes back anymore. I just send him hearts.
I do mostly hearts. I can't compete. I can't compete with him. I have his 5. I give him 1.
Exactly.
So I have his source, and his memes are all 21-year-old party boy. He had me, guy who has me shotgun beers still. The only guy in my life still getting me to shotgun beers.
Dude, we can shotgun beers.
All right.
I'll throw up.
I'd much rather sip a coffee.
Yeah, me too.
And then
a café.
Then I have this girl I know who sends me like reality TV memes from like that I don't give a fuck about. They're usually
That's
like,
sick.
but I usually make a snide comment like, she's classy.
How do you know her?
Life.
Okay. Sorry. My bad, dude. Jesus. Okay.
No, it is good.
I didn't know that was off the table. How do you know someone?
The thing is, I have some funny stories. No, she went to high school with me. She was a year above me. Cool chick. We're friends. We've been friends for a long time. She's actually the in some ways like the girl I've kept in touch with the longest, besides my good friend Ava Schneider, who is the only platonic friend I've been able to keep. Usually one thing seems to end all my female friendships.
What?
I try and sleep with them.
What, you stealing their panties?
Get caught stealing their panties.
You get caught sniffing their dildos.
They say
they wake up, they let you crash one night, and they just wake up to you. Like it's a cigar. I don't know if I don't have very many platonic.
Well, now I have a ton of comedy.
Well, now I have because I have a bunch of comic friends.
I have so much less friends. Period. I mean, pre.
We should get an under the table.
Yeah, camera. When we play footsie under the camera. I have.
The people want to see it, dude. We could do a split screen of just
our feet.
Us, and then.
What if like that made our podcast huge? Is we just showed our feet the whole time, and we just had all the foot pervs.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind. I would be fine with that.
You ever on the apps and like guys, non-binary, they thems, but they just swipe right on you all the time. You're like, man, that guy's handsome, but.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I don't really do the apps anymore because they were so insulting.
Yeah, they're really hurtful to me too.
They're really hurtful. Every match I get,
they match.
Every match I do get, I'm like, come on, really? Like,
this is the one?
Yeah, I'm like, this is the only one? Dude, I've just been farting up a storm.
Know,
Have you been hearing it?
I've been hearing it.
I hope it's getting picked up.
I just wish
I
had better filtering in this room. Because what I'm thinking about is like when we went in this room, I came in and I was like, it's so stuffy in here that nothing gets filtered. Should I crack a window? We can't crack a window because you just hear the madness of I think you got to mic it. If next time, just go. No, don't fart on directly on my mic. But
that's the only reason I'm not, because then I see that on podcasts.
We could tape your mic as Ryder. We'll tape your mic as Ryder.
Well, I see that on podcasts sometimes. I'll see a dude do that joke, and I'm like, now you're talking into your fart.
I know, that's so good. Oh, gross me out. One of my favorite Todd Barry jokes is he's like, he's doing some fest or some footsie camp activated.
Are you not wearing socks either?
I got to keep my athlete's foot out there. Now you're going to get it.
Well, I'm wearing socks.
I was going to tell you to wear your shoes. So, by the way, the PVC piping, I had to cut these little letters off. They have these little small hangs.
Wait, are you going to give me athlete's foot through to my socks, dude?
No, don't worry. Like AIDS, bro.
Do you have diseased
It's
feet?
like AIDS, bro.
Were you just fucking infecting me, dude?
No, I did it.
Are you bioweaponing me?
Last of Us. You watching it?
Nah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We're only on episode 6. You can stick around and
I've
watch
heard
6 in a row.
I've heard good things. Dude.
No completed thoughts in the past 3 minutes. We put like 7 ideas out there. What are you going to say? Let's start a new one.
Election.
I know.
Update us.
I switched to Brandon Johnson in the meantime. What I love is all of these will come out 3 weeks after the runoff happens.
Yeah.
So I watched the debate, which had happened like 2 months before.
But so just give us the full what is up now.
Here's what's
who's
up.
in, who's out.
Johnson versus Vallis.
Johnson versus Vallis. Our old mayor.
Our team
is gone.
Our old mayor's gone. Lori's out the building.
Lori's gone.
Which is good. All around, that's a huge. Both are a step up.
Both are a step up. You know what? Lori, she tried.
She tried and she failed.
She didn't do a great job.
And she left not gracefully, which is fun.
She didn't leave gracefully?
Well, she at least conceded right away, so that's graceful.
What did she do that was ungraceful? Was she talking shit the whole time?
She
was
talked
like, look at these
shit.
dumb bitches.
She got out talking some shit. She left talking some shit.
Really? What was she saying? Like, Chicago's full of shitholes, I'm moving to Pittsburgh? You're like, fuck you and your garbage crime city. I'm moving to Baltimore. She's now a Ravens fan also.
She also switched.
She's like the
Baltimore people party.
She's like, the fucking Bears are leaving.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I got the Bears to leave. I kicked the Bears out.
Dude, we could buy a house in Baltimore. Sorry, finish the election thing, but we should buy something
I
along the river in Baltimore. Remember we were looking at it? It was like $200,000 for like
there's some really cheap,
fucking
there's like a 4-flat.
Beautiful like 3-bedroom apartment on the fucking whatever, the river they have there.
And then we'd be 40 minutes from DC, 2 hours from
I'd be down. If you look into it, I'll split one with you, dude.
We'd just be Baltimore boys.
Baltimore boys. I'd still live in Chicago, but I'd come to Baltimore.
Nah, I think we should pivot, make a real estate podcast. I like Urbana-Champaign because it's a 2-hour drive, so that way if you have to fucking visit and like
That's
pick shit up,
true.
it's just like, all right, 2 hours there and back. It's less than 2 hours. It's like an hour and a half.
But is that college gonna go under anytime soon?
No, it's going up, and all the other colleges are gonna. What's gonna happen is
it's gonna swallow them like LSU did with.
It's happening right
Louisiana
now.
College.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably following the same exact trajectory.
It's kind of like the big
like all these other schools
guff
are gonna
people
die.
have with LSU.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame it.
Is that they just like swallow?
That's what's happened. These towns are gonna be.
There's
fucked.
pretty much like no other. There's like the Raging Cajuns in Tulane, and that's like all there is in all of Louisiana.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I would love. I'm trying to tell my little cousin to go to Tulane.
Tulane's
if
dope.
you're willing to go into debt for your undergrad, Tulane might be like go. Looking
It's really
back,
expensive, I would say. I personally, and it's because I'm a hardcore LSU guy, I would prefer LSU because if you want to be in New Orleans, you can be in New Orleans.
What about
all
this?
The time.
Would you say
it's like an hour and a half?
For me,
away.
would you say Tulane over LSU though? Because we're a little different.
You're a city boy.
I'm a city boy.
You're a city boy. I think you'd need to be in Tulane.
Baton Rouge
to a degree.
is-
I think you would need to be in Tulane. Except for, I'm not gonna lie,
Baton Rouge
you
gets
would
rough.
have loved LSU.
Oh man, yeah.
Dude, the partying there,
I'm sure.
you would have tapped into your scumbag on a whole new level, dude.
My
you
mind
would have
would
loved
get.
it.
Whenever I went to
And
school,
dude, so hot.
I'm sure.
That's the thing that's one of the big differences between Tulane and LSU. If you're talking about attractiveness, it's not even close.
Oh, 100%.
LSU
Yeah,
blows
yeah,
Tulane.
yeah.
Most of the people that live in New Orleans look like monsters.
No, you're absolutely right.
Because they just walk around in dirty garbage water all day and drink hurricanes.
Well, we were saying-
and they look like fucking monsters.
We were saying that, and I stand behind this.
and everyone that goes
What
to
would be-
Tulane's like rich douchebags.
All right, so say you're just a professor of some bullshit. You're a professor of comedy, which, by the way, that's all bullshit.
Yeah, but I would do that.
And they pay well.
If they would let me be a professor of comedy.
Bro, the real professors of comedy, they're fucking jokes. They're real ones, and they're jokes. And they could never follow us. It's crazy.
That
but
would
they
be
make
a
like
hilarious
6 figures
thing
doing
if
comedy.
we started going around and we did a
Challenge.
show. If we did a challenge show.
We're here to challenge your academia
Yeah,
comedically.
we're here to challenge you. We just
Bro.
do like what those shitty like alt-right interviewer dudes do
Oh, yeah.
when they
Book
just like go up and start interviewing
Book here.
people. We're just
Yeah.
like, tell a joke. What's your joke? Here's my joke. And then we just say a joke. What's your joke?
Oh my gosh. There's so much I want to.
And just take everything out of
I
context.
got to get a piece of paper and start writing shit down. No, I'm kidding. I'll remember it. First off, I just did a second half Todd Berry joke steal, which is the second one in like 10 minutes.
What?
Todd Berry, all-time top 5 comedian for me. Got to give Todd Berry his flowers.
Legend.
He
One of the
challenged. He
babes.
goes, we got heckled once. The guy he gets a complaint after the show, and the husband's like, "Yeah, he was bad. I wanted to challenge him comedically." And I always, whenever I see a bad comic, I'm like, I want to challenge this guy comedically.
Do a duel of jokes.
I'm going to challenge you comedically. And I
I'm
think
like,
about all the.
It just shows you both,
Yeah.
like as the tumbleweed goes by, and it's like 10 paces, and then turn around and yell your best joke.
9/11, 9/11. Oh, man.
Women aren't real.
What
were we talking about? We keep getting. way
So
out.
LSU, back to. All right, I stand by this. Now you're a professor of comedy.
Yeah.
And you're just chilling. You're
As
just
an adult,
easy check. Right now, you get the job next semester. You get it first of the fall.
New Orleans.
You go to New Orleans?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
if you
kinda
have
like
money.
Oh, wait. But here was the caveat I put out there. So you're a professor of college, but it has to be a town under 250,000. So it can't be you picking because of the city. So it can't be New Orleans, but it can be like any state college town. So this disqualified ASU. I went ASU right away. But then I realized ASU.
If I had to be a professor
ASU's
somewhere,
technically in like a Phoenix suburb. I didn't realize it's
maybe
like
Syracuse. It's beautiful.
Oh, there you go.
It's smart.
So my two were
and the
off
one
the
thing
bat
is,
was
I
Bama and
want
LSU.
to go to a state college with all those dumb salutes because like you don't want to be pulled into that.
Oh, so
you
I was
will
thinking,
get fired.
I was
because you can't have sex. You're not allowed to. It is
Okay.
against the rule to have sex.
Well,
with
now that you
co-eds.
say this, I have to change my answer.
And it's also
my
not
answer,
woke anymore. You're
my
not allowed
answer
to
was
abuse your position of power, dude.
My answer was
Even if that's the only
It's
reason
crazy
you
that was-
tried to get a position of power, you're still not allowed
so
to
many,
use it.
so
to
many
get
dudes our generation, that was their whole game plan. And
yeah, they're just destroyed. They're like, I've been waiting my
I've been
whole
balding
life.
and
Yeah,
fattening
I've
up my
been-
whole
I've
life.
been not going to parties all through high school so that I could get rich and use it to get pussy as like I've been spending my whole life learning how to code so that I could be really rich and get laid, and now I'm not allowed to do that. Now that's evil.
Yeah, well, women like guys who code because they do make a lot of money and they're spineless and women can walk all over them. So anyone who codes is a little bitch. So, oh man, I do think the podcast is at its best when we throw crazy.
We're woke, dude. We're woke, man.
just fucking.
So if I had to pick, you're asking
you do
what
make good points.
school
So
if I
Syracuse
could
is
be
the
a
other.
professor. That's the issue is I wouldn't necessarily want to go.
Well,
You're
ours was
tempted
weather.
to just
So
say,
mine is weather was largely like basically, if you had to move random spots, weather would be a huge factor.
well,
for
then
me.
wouldn't you want like UC Berkeley?
But Berkeley again,
Oh,
it's like
you're in a
and
city.
it's like that San Francisco. So,
Yeah, you can't really do that. Maybe I would do.
but you could do like Davis, UC Davis, which is like 20 miles away, but like not
Yeah.
as fun at all. That would be such a huge step.
I would maybe do like something outside of like my friend.
Like,
And
what's
he
the-
had a bad
like, what's the
experience, but
ultimate
like
co-
Olympia, Washington.
that
There's
was
a
a great one.
college
I
there.
think that was a
would be
great. Yeah,
dope.
because mine off the bat was I forget which is in Olympia is better, but it's Eugene. I was thinking I would live in Eugene.
Yeah, that
like,
would be sweet.
And it's similar. And Syracuse is like kind of the East Coast.
I would like Syracuse. I would like maybe
You're also
something in
great.
Maine.
Syracuse is great because you're also drivable to New York City.
Yeah. Maybe something in Maine.
Maine was cool.
Maine's pretty- it's cold as
The weather,
hell,
the
though.
weather is my.
Cold as hell. Maybe
If I
like
leave
West
Chicago, the
Virginia.
weather's going to be a big player. And like the thing is with global warming, winters aren't even that bad here anymore.
No, I would stay in Chicago over. If I was gonna live in any city, it would be. It's still Chicago. I don't want to live in it. Go Chicago, dude.
Okay, so say you
Go
get,
fucking. Go Cubs. Go White Sox. Fuck the Bears.
exactly. And it's
Fuck the Bears, dude. That's gonna be the new Chicago battle cry.
fuck the Bears.
Is fuck the Bears.
I
I hope we get a different team for our city.
That would be so sick.
Like downtown Chicago gets a football
That
team.
would be sick. So that what is interesting with the mayoral race. Earlier I talked
Oh, dude, you're so good.
bringing
at
it
this.
back. Yeah, so
You're so fucking good at this, dude.
so it's Vallis Johnson. In the mayoral episode, I broke down how there's like 4 voting bases in Chicago.
Yeah, I missed all of it, dude.
You'll remember when I talked. There's the black voting base. The
Yeah.
the
I remember
Latino.
this because I was like, whoa.
But this is it's crazy because I was actually going to cut it out. My friend Gabe Poppich brought it up too, and I was going to cut it out. But this is exactly how the mayoral race played out. There's a black voting base, a Latino voting base, a white local voting base, and then a new to Chicago voting base.
Uh-huh.
And it was pretty much 1-to-1. They all voted. Lori Lightfoot got the black local base. Chewy got the Latino base. Vallis got the white local base. And Johnson got everyone woke and the hipsters, and then the people.
But Johnson's the guy that
I voted Johnson.
I thought he was the one that destroyed the school district.
That's Vallis. So
Vallis is whack. I thought you said all the new people were going to vote for Vallis.
I was
They
wrong
didn't
about
know
that.
I
I was wrong. So I guess they all voted
It was
Johnson.
all the old dogs.
All the old dogs voted
who
Vallis.
just don't give a shit about school.
Their kids go to private Catholic schools, and they're like, "Hey, he's the most like, hey, we need more cops." And
Okay, that'll work.
and then exactly, and he's like, he already screwed up the schools. So,
No, I just love the idea of being like, everyone's like, we got to do something about this cops thing. And they're like, our solution is to do nothing and just have
everything
more cops.
everything is broken.
Like,
I
it's
mean,
it's funny to be like, we're going to let our city be destroyed for years because we're making a stand to be like, we want less cops. We want a new solution. And this guy's like, how about instead
What's like
we just go back to the way it was?
I mean, well, it's just this crazy thing where it's like, is this going to be the next? I mean, this is always going to be the case. It's like, okay, so we had more cops 3 years ago, and then the Derek Chauvin, George Floyd thing happens. So like, and then there's this huge protest. So now we have less cops. Now they're like, okay, well now crime goes up a little because there's less cops and cops want to not over police.
Or maybe it's also because people are becoming much poorer in our city.
Oh, I know. It's a million things.
I like
combined.
how they're just immediately like, it's the cops. It's like, what about the fact that everyone's fucking broke?
Well, the
as
school.
hell?
I mean,
and like the number one indicator of crime.
And the schools are fucking failing. I mean, I look at certain things.
The schools are terrible.
The schools are so much worse, I feel, than they were 12 years. I mean, I'm sure there's a handful of schools. Like, there's Jones is a lot better than it was.
No, there's schools that are good.
And I had
good public schools.
I mean, I had, and 100%. I do believe I had a world class education. I was a Chicago public school kid.
Hey.
And there's definitely holes in the coverage, but it feels. But then they started closing shit up. Like,
are most of those holes south by chance? South and west?
I mean, there's even like crazy stuff. Like, I mean, it's very complex because it's like I lived in South and West neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And nothing I believed grew me more as a person than having to leave my neighborhood for school. But it's unfair to ask that of everyone.
Yeah.
But but it is like, and it's such a weird, controversial thing. But the fact that I went to school in a neighborhood I didn't live in with people that didn't all live in that neighborhood. They lived all over the city, from all levels of economic class, from literally, people up there at the top 1% to like people way below, like way to home. I'm sure there were unarguably homeless kids in my class, in my school. So that whole gauntlet.
Were you roasting them for their wax sneakers?
Well, there's kids.
Look at those fucking shitty New Balances.
Well, there's one kid I love, and I mean,
roasting some homeless kid.
There's this
he
kid.
Pulls out a sandwich and it's like, "You only got one ham sandwich. Look at this dumb thing."
I used to copy off this kid who was an illegal immigrant all the time.
Yeah.
He was a dreamer, so he had like deferred action against children, aliens, DACA.
Dude, I used to have so many hot illegal immigrants in my school.
And that's where there's nothing where it's like, let's make them all legal.
And then they all married other illegal immigrants, and I called the authorities.
You should have dated me.
You should have fucked me, dude. Looks like you're going back to Mexico.
Well, this one dude, he was brilliant. I mean, that's the thing. So if you're around, I feel like if you're around in those culture, like Mexican culture, you realize how strong American values, they are. So it's like you're like, they're awesome. Let's let them in. But I would cheat off.
I love Mexicans.
Oh, me too. Their food.
They're the best. They're so much fun, dude. I miss getting to party with Mexicans all the time. Yeah. That's like the one thing. I just don't know that many, because all I do is stand up now.
Yeah.
And like, there is a thing in stand up of like, it is all mostly straight white dudes.
But it's like
and that's not. Not because of some concerted effort.
I know, but shout out my Spanglish boys.
Yeah,
like they're all those Spanglish dudes are cool as hell.
Those are sick. But like, it's not that there's like a concerted effort to prevent other people from doing it. It's just that there are more straight white dudes doing it than any other group of people by like an astronomical margin. It's not even close. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even if you go to like one of those like woke mics or a mic that's like specifically for one group, like a non-binary mic, you still go.
Those are whiter. The more woke they get, the whiter they get.
First of all, the whiter they get. But second of all, like they're still gonna wind up having like 5 or 6 straight just to fill out the mic.
Just because there's that.
Because there's that few. Like there's gonna be like 10, and then all the non-binary comics I know would never do a show.
Yeah,
like that.
No, yeah. Well, there's representation stuff too, where it is like I do wonder because it's like I think there's a lot of hilarious and a good representation of
I want the representation.
Straight black dudes.
I think we all do. But my
point I'm saying of straight black dudes because it's
lost out on this representation nonsense.
No, but I'm saying for comics, it's like there's like it's like I mean there's huge Hispanic comics, but it is like there should be more.
Yeah, and to be clear, I don't mean that the idea of representation is nonsense.
But if you could,
the way they're going about it.
If you take the Chicago population, Hispanics are underrepresented in the comedy scene when that should absolutely change. And there is hilarious. My funniest friend is from Mexico. He grew up in Chicago, but I think his whole family's from Mexico. I think he was
from Mexico.
But this guy, he's the only guy that made me cry from laughter. And like at my 20th, they all just saw me try to fist bump you, and
really?
That you didn't do it back. But yeah, he like roasted me. It was like my 22nd or 23rd birthday party, and it was just like us, like 12, 15 people sitting around my living room at the time, and he just was roasting everyone.
What did he call you?
He was making fun of every little fucking. He knows me like every little. You know me that well too. But it's like, and the thing is, I enjoy being called out because then I feel seen.
Yeah, me too. I think it's funny.
Yeah, but I forget what the stuff he was saying.
But also,
I had hair at the time, so it wouldn't have been any of this.
Yeah, but also to be clear, I say it doesn't bother me to be insulted, but only because I know those insults aren't going to affect my livelihood or the education of my children. Yeah. But like that's, I think people go like, why can't people just take a joke? I'm like, yeah, but when you're racist to black people, the problem is some of those comments you're making actually affect their life outside of the ballpark of this joke.
Well, a lot of times what it does,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think a big thing too is that
you make a cop joke and it's like that's real. If I make a joke about me having a little dick, it's like even if that is true, it doesn't really go outside. It doesn't affect me outwardly as much as does that. You know what I'm saying?
I think and my take a lot of times is if some it's more that a bad joke might expose you like it shows that okay, this person is racist or at least biased.
Yeah.
And I might have an unfair bias against me interacting with this person. Like it's like like it's you already see it's like all right, I'm already behind with this guy, so fuck this guy, I'm gonna write him. I would write him off if I heard someone like where they meant it. I think other comics are very cool and woke to the game and hip to the game.
Yeah, they get it.
And actually, I think overall audiences can like get nuance.
I think audiences don't. I think the problem is now, and I think we're starting to see less of this because I'm starting to see comics getting more chances that would have even like a year ago been too risky for a lot of places.
Sometimes I see chances that I'm like, I wouldn't. I see people going for things that I'm like, ugh.
Well, the thing I'm like a perfect,
and then it paying off.
Yeah, what I think the problem was for a long time with clubs, and this is like where it was different. Comics could always get canceled, but what started happening is people would be like, screw this whole club because this one comic said a thing. And it's like, it used to be screw this comic because he said this thing, but now people will try and cancel a whole club. And I think that's why clubs are getting, sorry, I'm like drawing.
I know the mic is going to be hearing that.
Well, good, dude. They need to know all my strokes.
All the steps. All the clicks.
Anyways, we don't need to talk about this.
Let's move on.
This is lame,
This sounds
dude.
like I'm going to get cut, The things I cut the most are talking
Lame
about comedy and racial.
Yeah, lame stuff, dude. It's all lame. We don't need to talk about any of that. Okay, should I go into my notes, or did we want to jump back into one of the like 10 things we blew through?
So I think
mayoral.
Yeah, so basically, to sum that up, it's going to be between Johnson and Vallis. Both I consider a step up over.
Who are you voting for?
I ended up voting Johnson. So last episode, I was talking Chewy. Went back watching the debates. Chewy was giving me Biden vibes, where it's like this guy's past his prime.
Oh.
Did not handle himself well on the debate stage. Kind of was vague, stumbled a lot. Vallis and Johnson, if you watch the debates, I 100% would agree. Vallis and then Johnson were the best.
And then you're voting Johnson.
I'm voting Johnson.
Was Vallis too clean? Is that why he was?
No, so I won't vote Vallis because of the public school.
Oh, he was the public school guy.
Yeah, so I won't vote him because he won't get my vote, and he's a political loser. He's ran in like every election and loses. This is the best he's done, and it's like I think
Can't vote for losers, dude.
Yeah, he has loser written all over him. And if you're mayor, I'll work with you because I want power.
Yeah,
and I know you'll want to be on our podcast, but you're not a dream guest.
Come into the room,
Vallis. Don't think you're making the dream guest list.
Don't think you're anywhere near Burrow.
You think, I will fucking.
This guy thinks he's on the same page.
I will drop.
Like if we drew a list and it had 2 columns.
Yeah.
He's not on that page. He's not even on Burrow's page.
No.
Even if we did front and back, he's not even on the front and back of that page, dude.
We get Burrow. You're not hearing from us, Vallis.
Dude, I am going to, if we get Burrow.
What if we get Burrow and then bring him and the Bears back to Chicago?
Yeah.
Save the city.
Yeah, save the city. No, dude. If we get Burrow, I'm gonna riff-raff. I'm just gonna blow up and know nobody. And don't know what is it? He goes, I'm gonna blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Oh man, I love.
I'm gonna riff raff everybody if we get Burrow on there. Okay,
we're getting Burrow.
You ready for topics?
Yeah.
Or did you have a final thing about the mayoral?
Final thoughts. I don't care who you vote for. I'm not excited. So the thing with Johnson
just vote, dude.
Just vote.
Just vote. Show your opinion. Prove that democracy has some validity in today's day and age, because it really only counts on the local level. People are like, voting doesn't matter.
This counts a lot.
I'm like, yeah, voting doesn't matter if you're talking about voting for a president.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about voting for local leaders, mayors, congressmen, senators, your vote 100% does count, and it's very important.
Yeah.
Don't vote for the president. Your vote doesn't matter for the president.
Yeah.
The president's a puppet to corporations. Shut up. Don't worry about it. Unless it's Trump who's just going to go ape shit. And
unless
crazy.
It's Trump, then vote Trump.
Yeah.
But if not Trump, don't even vote. Not my president.
Don't even bother. Not my president.
But
that might.
Yeah, but with local, it is a thing of what Chicago needs is we need businesses to come back, businesses to not flee, and we need comedy to be funny again.
Dude, make comedy.
Make comedy funny again.
Dude, we're so good. we should come out with really late merch.
MCFA, make comedy funny again.
Just whatever, freaking 6 years too late.
My dad in 2015, 2016, when MAGA first dropped, he made Make America Gay Again hats.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I was like, Dad, this isn't the thing you need to be capitalizing
on.
That's so... It's so weird all around. He dropped way too much money on this. He ordered way too many hats.
Was he trying to sell them as a business?
And then he sold out. So he did it once, and then he bought... This I forget the timing.
So was he trying to sell them as a product?
Yeah, he was like, this is what's gonna. And he had never done anything like this before. He just went on, bought $5 because it's a simple hat. He was like, I think he was like, oh, I bet I know the same printing, Vistaprint. They got those hats made at Vistaprint, some shit like that. But yeah, he bought 500 Make America Gay Again hats, then sold out, made some money. Not much. Not worth the effort. Not worth the effort. It's a lot of shipping and stuff.
He's just selling hats out of the back of his van.
Well, it's a lot of work. I mean, I think he got it all online, but it's you do have to ship. I mean, it's he probably...
That's an insane
money-making
scheme.
And then he did
it again. That's like an Ed and Eddie cartoon level of money-making scheme.
And it was a thing, too, where I was like, bro, it's you're not the guy. Where are you in a position? You had to sell it online because you would never buy from, a guy who would be my dad. Imagine me 25 years older. Yeah, selling 2 blocks outside of Boys Town at the gay pride parade. Hey, you want to buy a hat? Make America gay again. And the other thing, the problem it's Dad, that looks exactly like a Make America Great Again hat from over 20 feet away. And that's what, you couldn't wear a red hat during Trump's presidency because any red hat would be that.
At all.
And this one is the same letters, the same almost exact
same
G.
I used to have a free bleed hat, and I stopped wearing that because I support women, dude. I support the hell out of women.
That's a gross hat, bro. It's a fun hat. I'd get some free bleed. Free bleed, and it's a red hat.
It was a bright red hat all around.
What was the color of the letters? Dark red, darker red.
Yeah, darker red. No, they were a green, a mucusy green.
Yuck.
Just said free bleed.
I'll put it out there.
And people would come up to me and be like, yo, what are you doing here? And then I'd be like, bro, I'm way woker than you. I support free bleeding. You think you're a feminist, dude? I support the grossest thing you can do.
I want to be so rich I have a toilet that you can just flush a box of tampons down. Just in the box.
You want. Just a full dog.
Kind of, bro. That's I can't think of a lot of things that would
beat that. You can't think of anything more that a rich dude would have than a toilet with the suction to pull somebody into the atmosphere.
That would kind of be the coolest thing. I watch these Architectural Digest videos, which are the new MTV Cribs, but they're classier people. And
I'm moving too much, dude.
They all go nuts. They have these things in there, and you probably have this in your kitchen, but they have this thing where it's a separate faucet that you that's higher up, and it's just a higher faucet, and it has one purpose. I think maybe it's to wash pans easier.
Yeah, we do have that.
And it's the higher, thinner. It
makes it way easier to wash pans.
That's
what it's for.
Yeah, it's the really high, thin one.
Yeah, it's for washing pans.
Everyone goes nuts over this fucking thing. They all show it off.
Those are really in we don't have one of those. Those are like kitchens.
Yeah.
Because it's so that
it's not like the pose thing. It's just like I think you're right though.
That's what it's for.
And it's just like, they're like, this is why I bought the house. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
this is like
lying.
a 20,000 square foot house.
They just didn't know anything else about architecture.
Yeah, and that's like the one the realtor like gave them, oh, this is for that.
Like, look at this. It's like, ooh, it's like when you see a house with like a little waterfall or something in it. It's like it doesn't do anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's just to convince dumb people that this house is worth the
a lot
$28 million they're spending.
It's so, if you watch if they're anywhere that isn't New York, they're amazing. And then you go to New York and there's just as much money.
Box.
And it's like, this isn't that great.
No, dude. This
isn't, yeah. Like David Harbour, the cop in Stranger Things. It is cool because you see like, he did it, he's cool and he did it twice. He did it like the first season of Stranger Things where he lived in kind of just like a cool loft. And it was one of the least impressive. And now he has like a brownstone. But it is just like
big boy money.
And it is. It's like a $12 million brownstone, but it's like
still a shithole.
It's just a house.
Yeah.
It's just like it's. I mean, it's a cool house.
And it's like probably one of the nicest.
Yeah. But it's like it would be like a $700,000 house here.
Dude, we could buy an entire apartment complex in Baltimore for $700,000
on the river. Run it.
Dude.
Yeah, just start running it. Just run West Baltimore. I do.
Just
remember that? So we went to that one bar and that like not the cool one, not Breakers, the Chasers. It is cool that it was Chasers and Breakers, or the two bar, and they're kind of the one with the pool table, and there was the woman was bartending the middle.
Oh yeah, not the one where we like stayed late.
Exactly.
Those old hags.
Yeah. But it was only like 6 blocks away, and it's everyone I meet from Baltimore is like, you're probably in Fells Point. It's like, all of Baltimore's a shithole. So I was in your nicest neighborhood. Don't be upset.
Yeah, it was like when we went to Mama's on the Half Shell, which is the best.
It is.
And someone acted like they were too good for it. They're like, no, I'd never go to that town. I'm like, okay, so you've only been to 10 restaurants?
Yeah.
Your whole city has 30 restaurants.
Yeah.
And 10 of them are on this strip.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Go fuck yourself.
It's like,
don't
it's
act
still
like
Baltimore.
you're too hip for the hip part of your town when your town is Baltimore.
That's my whole take on it.
It's like, dude, I've been to the hip parts of Chicago. You know why? Because they got good fucking ramen.
And it's like, I've never been to a city where more people shit on the nice neighborhood more than Baltimore. And trust me, your nice neighborhood is a shithole everywhere else.
It's still cool. It's still a dive bar.
It blows my mind how blows my mind how people can afford. Poor people in other cities can afford your shithole.
Oh yeah,
poor
people in other cities live like kings in Baltimore, dude. We went to Mama's on the Half Shell, and we both bought.
We rode on the ritzy part of town you're afraid to go. Yeah, and
remember we split that.
I mean, we're gonna do a whole episode on this restaurant because it's the best restaurant in America.
It's the best.
Mama's on the Half Shell. Can't recommend it.
Let's get into my points, dude. I got talking points.
Agreed.
I got points.
Let me open this letter from the city really quick because I know it's a fucking ticket, and
I
got it 5 minutes. That mailman I said who my roommate's beefing with. This is what he had to hand me, and I just know it's a fucking ticket. I have no idea what for. Look at this city just coming at me.
Oh, dude, fuck this fucking city, dude. First they take the Bears.
First they take the Bears.
A ticket, dude.
$35 speeding at 20. This is exact. I get caught here all the time.
Yeah, I get caught. I have
right by the KFC.
I
Taco
literally
Bell.
have gotten like 30 tickets since I've moved to Chicago. I've gotten so many.
Well, they stopped policing and they started doing this.
Yeah.
So that's what the trade-in is.
Sweet.
It's so fucked.
Sweet.
California and Irving, right by the KFC Taco Bell.
Dude, my coffee boy.
Yeah.
I went there yesterday. He told me that on the street in front of his coffee shop, there was just a trail of blood in the morning, like huge.
Oh, wow.
Like
that's
clearly
wild.
The dude bled to death.
Yeah.
And apparently he called the police and no one showed up. Just firefighters showed up and cleaned it.
Oh yeah, that's what's
like
gonna
no one
happen.
showed up to be like, yo, is this?
Good thing there was absolutely no coffee in there. Good thing I took that final sip.
I figured you wouldn't have thrown it.
That's what I've been doing. Is I've been throwing that's my bit. Is I throw the coffees off screen.
Yeah. That's why I swatted it.
It's all good.
Get that
it's empty.
Shit out of here. No.
Yeah, people. It's like the perfect layout for this podcast. It's one thing, and I do want to talk about that pile of blood because I have a lot to say about piles of blood. Clean up that blood. It's my favorite line from.
And then apparently he just said when they just only cleaned it because his shop's in like a really nice. It's funny because he like hates he gets
They're
all
never,
the benefit.
they're never
going
to send the cops there again.
Well,
for that.
Well, because he has like a nice area, and so he hates that. Basically, what happened is they pretty much only cleaned up like this.
Yeah.
And then he like took a left turn on these shops on this like less nice street, and they didn't clean it up. And so the shop owners just had to clean it up. So it's so funny, like all this stuff will happen to him where he basically gets the benefit of what being like living in a nice area, and like pretty much gets like the gentrifier's benefit, and he hates it. He hates it every time. It's so funny.
No, but it is the city's like, this is all across America, and this is part of this whole police reform. It's the good and the bad. Less services.
Yeah.
No one's coming. You got to clean up the blood.
Well, he just meant like no one came to even be like, what happened?
They're not going to do that anymore.
Like they
That's
didn't
crazy.
come to investigate.
I mean, they just put that out there. Like we're not
going to investigate.
It's like written
things.
That was like that crazy.
What were they saying?
Well, that
like,
was crazy.
Remember that
crazy propaganda like 3 months ago where they're like, if you murder someone, you won't even get arrested.
Yeah, yeah.
What the real thing is that is like, if someone just bleeds to death. Yeah, we're not going to send the cops for that. He already bled to death. What is the cop going to do? Stop it. He's already dead. Send the ambulance people. They make less.
What about investigating? Are there
What's
just going to be no detectives
What's
anymore?
there to investigate?
Are there just not going to be
dead
detectives
body
anymore? There's not going to be no hard-boiled detectives just sipping coffee, freaking out about serial killers?
Ideally, that's the only cops we have is hard-boiled detectives.
Yeah, no, instead they're just all going to be meter maids giving us tickets.
That's all we're getting is meter maids. I mean, kind of, yeah. That's,
Our problem was that cops were too fat and lazy, and now we're going to give them the fattest and laziest job you could ever give a police officer.
It's a very odd time, for sure.
It is an odd time.
No, but it is, Sweep Up That Blood is the favorite line of Caddyshack for me, because it's such an insane thing to say. And it's stuff like that would happen. When I'd caddied grow up, it's Bill Murray's brother plays the caddy master, Brian Doyle Murray. He's like the guy running all the caddies. And they're like fighting. They just start fighting, because it happened all the time. You're high school kids,
Yeah.
He comes in, he's like, quit this fighting, sweep up that blood. It's just like, just like, come on, we got to keep it clean in here.
Yeah, he's just like, quit the foolishness.
But I've talked about this before, but I stand by it. Mostly when I see blood, I don't know the source. It's, that's just some strange blood. Look at that pile of blood over there. Yeah.
And it doesn't disturb me as much as I would like it to.
It doesn't disturb me as much as it should.
As much as I wish it did. I wish it made me have like a visceral, like, but it really just makes me be like, ew. Like, it really just, like, when I was walking outside, like, when I walked in and he told me about that, my first thought was, I hope I didn't step in any.
Oh, I know.
That was it.
Yeah,
my first thought was, I hope I didn't step in any. And then I went, I hope that guy's alive.
There's, like, gag reflex stuff. It's all gag reflex stuff.
My second thought was, I hope he's alive. Yeah. My first thought was, I hope it's not on my shoes.
No, I would be, my second would be, I hope I don't see brain matter, because that'll make me throw up.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's like when your mom used to yell at you if you were bleeding, and the first thing she'd say is like, don't get blood on the rug, and you never got that. And now as an adult, I feel that, but with buckets of blood in my city. Yeah. It's like, you better not get any blood on my shoes.
Sweep up that blood.
Yeah, just
sweep up that blood.
Get that blood out of here.
And it's also, you can't sweep up blood, which is why I love it.
Yeah, it's a funny line.
Sweep up that blood. And then, when I stayed in New York last year with Nat, I think I've talked about this on both podcasts. It's the one where I don't do it. But
who do you do the other one with?
Myself. I just talk in this room by myself. Well, what it was I started doing one. I was like, I didn't think you were like, I don't want to do a podcast with me. It hurt my feelings. I cried, and I was like, well, I got to
When did I say that?
I'm half teasing, but
I don't think I actually said the words, I don't want to do a podcast with you.
You did it. I'm teasing.
I said, I don't want to edit one.
You didn't edit it. It's all good.
It's like, I'd rather pay exorbitant fees for anyone in the world.
I'm just teasing, but I had to start the other one so that you'd get jealous and want to do this one with me.
I didn't even know you had another.
I know. No one does. I've been filming them for months and just not putting them out there.
Really? You haven't put any out?
No. I have 7 in the hole.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's fun, but it is a mixed bag of like, it's at its best when I'm like roasting a little, not roasting, but when I'm asking them very abrasive questions.
Oh, dude, you want to ask me some abrasives?
Here, the best one I've asked. How do you think you're gonna die?
How do I think I'm gonna die?
Yeah.
Cirrhosis of the liver.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. With
That's
modern
probably-
medicine, I'm not going to die of that, dude. There's no way. What I'll probably die
Prostate
of
cancer.
is like, prostate cancer or like maybe esophageal. Because my pops got it. And
Yeah, that
I
one worries me too.
And I have bad acid reflux and I don't really take care of myself in the way I should.
Same boat.
Maybe heart disease.
Same boat. Statistically.
One of the good ones.
When I was like, it was crazy. This was
probably die in my sleep alone in the dark. Like I was
know.
saying. I told you that the other week, right? People always like, it sounds peaceful to die in your
That's
sleep.
why you got to have roommates.
I'm like, no, you fucking
They
die
eventually
alone,
find
just
you.
in pain, in massive amounts of chest. Like, it wakes you up for you to just go, I'm dead, and die.
And you just rot into the carpet, and blood spills out.
Yeah.
Sweep up that blood.
And then some dude like worries about you getting on his shoes when he's getting coffee.
My godfather.
What about you? What would you? How do you
It's how
think?
my godfather died.
The same way, pretty much as I said, all those things.
I do think, I think it's like
Some kind of fat boy disease.
all the fat boy diseases.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a fat boy disease.
For us, it's that. Unless car stuff, car
Yeah, it's
accidents.
fat boy disease. What were you gonna say about New York though?
Yeah, so I stayed there with Nat. We went my ex for a week, and like the second night, there was just a full pool of blood right in front of the door of our Airbnb building, and it was just like, and to me, it was like one of those things of just like, I am numb to this. I don't care at all. I'm just like, this is
Nat like, whoa.
Nat was like, this is a lot of blood, and we're far enough from the street that it's not like a car thing. It's like clearly this guy was stabbed or shot. It was a ton of blood. And then, like, the next morning, it was all gone. The super cleaned it up, swept it up.
yeah, I'm sure you did, dude.
No, yeah, that's what you get. You get free rent. Your super, your free rent. You just got to make sure someone bleeds out in front of your stoop. You sweep it up.
Spray it down.
My first apartment building, I had the coolest hell super. He was Rastafarian, and he broke down all the rules. He was like, your mom's sisters are your mom's, but your mom's brothers, nothing to you. And then your dad's brothers are your dad, but your dad's sisters, nothing.
They don't literally mean anything.
I mean, they do, but they're
like
they're
not as important.
They're definitely not as important.
Like, because
They're less than ants.
So the dad's brothers are your dad, meaning they like raise you, help raise you.
Yeah, and both sides too. And the moms are more important. The maternal like family stuff. It's like you're raised by your moms more.
Their thing is basically that Jesus was actually like the king of Ethiopia, right? Like their
Haile
Messiah
Selassie,
was
Haile
Haile
Selassie.
was like the first king of Ethiopia.
It was like the next, reincarnation of Christ, right? Yeah. So
So they believe in Jesus and Muhammad, and then just also this other guy. Or
I don't know if they believe in Muhammad,
but they do think Jesus was a.
They believe in Jesus.
Homie.
It's similar to where it's like a mix.
Is it like they are Muslims about Jesus?
Exactly.
They're super Muslim
about Jesus. Exactly. They're like, that guy was.
Those guys are total Muslims.
That guy was a prophet, not a Messiah.
I like how that sounds like an insult, but saying Muslims about Jesus means like he's the second most.
It's weird that Jews
like,
for Jesus, they love Jesus.
Yeah, it's funny that people are like Muslims, think of Jesus as just another prophet. It's like, it's not like there were 30. They think of Jesus as like number 2.
Yeah.
He's like the next most important guy.
And Moses is the third. Those are good people.
Those are good. That's good game. It's kind of like at that point, it's when you start talking about like the GOATs of basketball. And it's like at that point, it's just a personal
He's Kobe.
preference.
He's their Kobe.
Yeah, at that point, it's just a personal preference. And once you get to those top 3, distinguishing them, it's like that's pretty much what religion is it's just like, are you into LeBron or MJ? And there's really no truth. And then some other dude comes up and he's like Bill Russell, and we're like, get out of here, Zoroastrianism.
Exactly. 11 titles way back in the 50s.
Yeah, it's like, all right, no one cares.
When all the other gods were mailmen. Milk delivery drivers. Oh, I was watching clips from like the 50s and 60s though. They're so bad at basketball. Like,
oh, dude, the worst.
They don't know how to dribble with their
They're
they don't know how to
worst.
they don't dribble with their left hand at all. Like they haven't I can at least do that.
They hadn't figured it out.
No, they do all their movements with the right hand. They back in and they back out. There's crazy stuff too. They shoot all free throws granny style.
Yeah, that's always
They all did that.
funnest
Yeah.
to see.
What? And then and then up until like 55.
And then it's just Bill Russell just
exactly.
and then just fucking their wife.
Oh man. No, exactly. It's great.
Screwing this mailman's wife just after he just dunked balls in his mouth.
It's crazy. I mean, it's insane stats. And the thing is too, it's
it is like when you see highlights of Bill Russell, it does look like like when you see those high school games with the one like when Zion was in high school.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what the NBA used to look like.
No, he's like a head.
He's like a head taller, and he's like way more athletic, and just no one can get even close to stopping him.
Yeah, he just passes like, dude.
Like his point guard's considered really good, but all he does is this.
Yeah.
Just
No, they all
throws
do
it.
that, and they're
Just
so bad.
throws it at Bill while he's just like, "Gah!"
Yeah. Well, something like
It's
even
like so unfair. Like watching LeBron. Do you remember like the LeBron James when he was coming up in high school and he was playing those high school games? And he was
some
just
of them are great. Yeah.
destroying everybody, dude.
There was a kid in my 6th grade class who could dunk. It was just insane. I was a 7th grader. He could dunk in 6th grade.
That would blow my.
It was blowing my mind.
That blows my mind now.
I mean, there was kids we played in our conference who would be like 6'5" in grade school and dunking, and they'd have tats, and I still don't understand it. I still don't like how.
Some dude just
You're a 12-year-old kid who could
just
dunk.
tongue out.
It was crazy. And I mean, where did they go? They probably the kid who dunked went and played D1 eventually.
That's sick.
I think he played at West Virginia WVU, which is a huge basketball
That's a great
school.
basketball school.
Tyrone Hughes, he was the man. He played, and then
Tyrone Hughes.
yeah. He was gonna have a name
That
like Tyrone
is
Duncan
a
in 6th
basketball
grade.
player's name.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything else because I don't want to get in trouble. But I'll say that guy plays basketball.
Oh yeah,
Tyrone Hughes.
yeah, he's a good guy. He could dunk at 6th grade.
Yeah. I bet he's amazing at basketball. I bet he's not bad at football either. If I'm being honest,
He was a beast, man.
I bet he was pretty good at football.
He was good.
How was his long jump? Okay, all right,
No,
let's
no.
move on.
I mean, he could dunk at 6th grade. Though.
Yeah, so I'm
That's
sure he had
crazy.
crazy hops, dude.
That's wild. It is wild to be like when you're that good at basketball. People like, and it's so much crazier now than even when I was that age of just how scouted you are.
Yeah,
Like, it
from
blew
like
my
a
mind.
young age. They
Well, I
started
knew-
scouting kids at like 12.
I knew
It's
Julio
crazy.
Okafor, who got drafted 2nd. He's still in the league, but he he just went overseas for his first year. But he was the number 1 prospect as a freshman in high school. They're like, you're going to be the number 1 pick of your draft class. And so it's at
what?
14. At 14, so you
In
have to get
6 years.
in 5. It's 5 years of
'Cause it's only
don't
1 year in college.
so
yeah.
don't fuck up for 5 years. If you break a bone, you're off this list. But if you don't fuck up for the next 5 years,
And he didn't, did he?
he got the 2nd, so he got the draft. He made his money. He made
Good
his
for
money.
him.
If you make your money, that's all. I'm now old enough to realize you get one good contract, you're good.
You're good.
And I think he had a couple. Like there's this one dude who's doing open mics out in Austin, and he had 2 NFL contracts. And it's like once you get your 2nd contract, that second one was like $60 million.
I had a coach in high school, a football coach who played for the Ravens. He was a tight end. He was like a blocking specialist.
Yeah.
And he was really good. And he went pretty high in the draft. He was like
Yeah.
considered one of the best blocking tight ends.
Yeah.
And he basically lived out there because they had a really good one of the hospital. He blew his knee out.
Yeah.
And one of the hospitals has like a really good knee
Yeah.
rehab. But he was one of our coaches, and he just like lived in a great place, just hung out. Like he was pretty much done.
Yeah, this guy
Like he was volunteering as our coach. You know what I'm saying?
This was with this guy, same boat, and it's like you get your 60 mil, that's all you need.
Yeah, that's it, dude. Easy, a cool 60.
I mean, you pay me 60 mil right now, I'm done. You can make 60 mil work the whole life. Easily.
Are you kidding me? That's what I was joking
Okay,
about.
good,
The
yeah.
idea of being like 60 mil.
But now you're just doing open
scraping
mics.
by. It's
No,
like,
doing open mics, Uber blacking it everywhere.
Dude, that's all I would do. If I had a
Yeah.
cool 60 mil, I would buy a apartment. I'd buy this apartment.
Yeah,
I'd buy this whole apartment.
I'd buy a building and I'd buy an apartment building.
I'd
buy
buy
a
a
house.
building.
I'd buy a house and an apartment building.
I would buy like a building with apartments, and I would just buy. And what I would do is I would take the top 2 and I'd rip down the wall and make it into like a badass place.
Dope, yeah.
And I'd live in there because you want to live high up. That's how you don't get rats. It's how you don't like. I live like an animal.
Yeah,
and
let
knock on
let
wood.
the plumbing go down.
Like I should 100% have rats,
but you're too high up.
but I'm too high up. They just don't. They can't sniff me out as much.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. But like,
I think Chicago builds their buildings while they keep the rats.
yeah, we don't have as much problem. When I lived in that basement, I had a
that's
couple
cool.
rats.
You're right. The higher.
But
up you go.
honestly, I lived in a fucking basement, and I think I literally saw like 2 the entire time I lived down there. So it was pretty good. Yeah, so I'd live high up, and then I would just rent out everything else, and then I just do open mics.
Yeah, and
I want to get hit by a bus
need
so
to rent.
fucking bad, dude.
You're 60 mil. You don't even need to be a landlord, but you could, and I would because I want to be a landlord.
Yeah,
I
want to
want
kick
tenants.
people out.
I want evictions.
I want to be able to evict some struggling.
I want
family.
to exactly.
Some lady. Who's
I want to buy up buildings.
My husband just left, and I really can't. I just want to be like, tough. You're a week.
I'm not a charity.
You're a week overdue.
I am a landlord, not a charity.
Yeah. And she's like, you
are a week overdue. 6 days ago, I filed for eviction for you. I just forgot to tell you until now. I forgot rent was. That's why I love my landlord here. I have cool landlords. I forgot the rent. It's like, it's already 4 days into March. Fuck, I gotta go pay rent.
What I did is I gave the guy who pays our rent. I gave him rent for like 3-4 months.
Nice. No, the guy comes through once a month.
That's what I do. Whenever I have money, I just prepay like 3 months of rent, and then I just struggle for 3 months. I find it easier to save money when I don't have it.
Yeah.
So I just spend it all on rent. Like it's
Put
a lot.
I get it. Then you're just broke, so you're like, all right, I already have my rent figured out.
Yeah. Now
I can only afford is a $6.
Now all I have to do is this. Whereas like if I do it the other way around, I'll inevitably run out of money before I have to pay rent, and then I'll be like fucking over my roommates.
I feel you. I've been spending money crazy.
Oh yeah.
This was like $15. This was like $20.
Dude, I've been spending money like crazy too. Yeah. I want to take a break. Can we take a break?
Oh yeah.
I gotta use the restroom.
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say before we stop?
I've been spending money like crazy, but not doing fun stuff. Like usually when I spend money like crazy, it's like cool I go to like Paris, and now it's like
I've just been spending money on car bombs.
Your liquor. I have your whiskey out there. All right. Good night.